Hello, welcome to MSCF Financial Computing 1 in Mini 1 of 2023. I am John Ostlund. I believe I have probably met all of you, more or less, both in Pittsburgh and New York by now, and I'll be your professor for this course. I will be available to you more or less all the time. You should be able to get in contact with me anytime between about 10 in the morning and about 9 o'clock in the evening. Sometimes I crash a little earlier than that, but I try to keep an eye on my email up until then. And I'm available 7 days a week, unless for some reason I'm traveling or otherwise tied up. You should feel free to send me an email message anytime you have any question about anything. And I will try to respond to you certainly within 24 hours, usually sooner than that. Now, like you, I get a flood of email messages every day, and I do occasionally overlook somebody's email. I do occasionally accidentally delete somebody's email. So if you do send me an email and I haven't gotten back to you within 24 hours, go ahead and send me an email again. I will not consider that a nuisance, and I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. I will have office hours every weekend on Saturday evenings from 6 until 8 p.m., and again on Sunday mornings from 11 a.m. until 1 o'clock p.m. And I'm also happy to arrange Zoom sessions with you individually or groups of people if you request that. Our lectures during Mini 1 will be in the usual classrooms, the primary classrooms in Pittsburgh and New York, between 1 o'clock and 2:30 in the afternoon on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I have 6 teaching assistants helping me this mini. These are all second-year MSCF students who did very well in my financial computing courses last year. Their primary job is to grade homework assignments. You should also consider them as resources. If you would like help with something, you can send them an email. It's also possible that they will hold office hours. I leave this up to them to decide whether they would like to hold office hours, and if so, how they would like to arrange that. Since we are split roughly half and half between New York City and Pittsburgh, if they hold office hours, of course, this will be by Zoom rather than in person. We will have a final exam that will be close to 3 hours long. It will be very similar to the programming prep final exam in the sense that it will be the same kinds of questions, although I will probably add more so-called essay questions to ask you to to write bits of programming that I did not really do in the programming prep exam. I can't, given ChatGPT, give an open book, open web, open notes, hands-on programming exam the way I have liked to do in the past. ChatGPT basically makes that impossible because if you, I discovered that last year it was possible to literally copy and paste questions from my exam into ChatGPT and then copy and paste the displayed code back from ChatGPT into the exam. And I'm not interested in evaluating you based on your ability to copy and paste. Okay, so you are going to have to actually know stuff. and you are going to have to rely on your memory of stuff when the final exam rolls around. All right. Let's see. As far as software, there is a newer version of Anaconda available that was posted in July of this summer, but you probably already have the March version, 2023.03, installed from Python Programming Basics and Programming Prep. You won't need the latest and greatest version, although you can certainly upgrade if you would like. There are a couple of books that I name here that are worth taking a look at if you would like some other references. Both of these are available online for free through the Carnegie Mellon University Library. So if you simply Google for Carnegie Mellon University Library and then search for these books, you will find buttons that you can click that say that you would like to see these online, and you will have to indicate that you are a Carnegie Mellon University student. You'll have to give your Andrew ID and your password, and you should be able to gain access to these books. The online documentation for Python is excellent. It's very well organized and very complete. So do have a look. If you want everything there possibly is to know about the details of Python, the online documentation is there. And also for NumPy and Pandas and Matplotlib, those are supported through scipy.org. Now, in terms of grades, there will be homework assignments on a weekly basis, and the combined homework will be worth 20% of your course grade. There will also be topic quizzes, typically 4 of these each week, covering material all the way back to the Python Programming Basics course and up through the Financial Computing 1 course. The combined topic quizzes will be worth another 35% of your course grade, and then the final exam will be 45%. Okay. I do not give A+ for homework assignments or quizzes. The homework assignments you will do in teams of 2 people, perhaps 3 if there's an odd number of students. And I expect everyone to get an A on each homework assignment, since you're allowed to work together with not only your teammate, but for that matter, with anybody else that you would like to. Similarly, the quizzes, I haven't described this yet, but you actually have multiple attempts to pass each of the topic quizzes, and consequently, both for the homework and for the quizzes, the highest grade that you'll be able to get is an A. If you would like to get an A+ in the course, what that implies is that you will need to get an A+ on the final exam. Generally speaking, that means that you're going to need to be in about the top 5 to 8% of people in terms of your score on the final exam. And you will also need to have A's on all of your homework and all of your quizzes. Okay. Here are things that we're going to talk about during the course. We're going to take a look at how to scrape data from a website. We're going to take a look at how to do option pricing in various ways. First, using the so-called Black-Scholes-Merton option pricing formula for European calls and puts, and then the binomial tree, which is a data structure that allows you to a little more flexibility at the cost of slower performance in computing option prices relative to the Black-Scholes formula. We'll also take a look at how to do option pricing using simulation. We're going to talk a bit about SQL to interact with relational databases. This is some exposure that you should have for your upcoming internship and in your actual job. We're going to take a look at something called AVL trees, which is a form of self-balancing binary search trees that's a little easier to get a handle on compared with the red-black trees that we did a bit of an overview of in programming prep. We'll also, depending on how rapidly we're able to go through these things, we'll spend some more time on dynamic programming problems and some more time on linked data structure problems, as I say, as time permits. Okay, so a little more detail now about the homework and the quizzes. Homework assignments are collaborative. Just like in programming prep, you'll be assigned randomly to a team of 2 people, possibly 3 if there are an odd number of people. And what you should do is to try each of you to write your code as best as you can independently, and then compare your solution to your teammate's solution. Between the 2 of you, you should decide what version of code you want to submit on behalf of the team, and then one of you will submit the solution to Canvas prior to the deadline. Now, in addition to discussing homework with your teammate, you're also welcome to discuss your homework with anybody else that you like as well. And actually, in this case, I certainly don't recommend this as a first step, but you can, you can use things like Stack Overflow and ChatGPT and other things that you find online. But the purpose here, as I say, is to learn, not to copy and paste. And so fight through the homework as best you can yourself first before you start relying on other people and other tools. Make sure that the Andrew IDs of all of the people involved with the team are at the top of each source code file, so that the TAs know who should receive scores for the people in that team. Any score of 90 points or better out of 100 will be worth an A. If your team submission achieves a score below 90, or maybe I should say fails to achieve a score of 90 or above, then you will get a reduced grade for your homework as shown in this table. Now, as far as the quizzes go, the quizzes will be similar to very short versions of what you saw in the programming prep final exam. Typically, there will be about 10 questions on each quiz. You need to achieve a score of 9 or better on each topic quiz to get an A. But on each topic quiz, you're allowed to take the quiz up to 4 times in order to achieve that A. So if you take the first topic quiz and only achieve 6 points, you can try to take it again the next day, and hopefully you'll achieve your 9 or 10 points. If you don't, then you can try it again the day after that. You're required to wait for at least 1 day in between each attempt. And you have up to 4 attempts for each topic quiz in order to get a score of 9 or better and achieve your A. You don't have infinite time for these quizzes. Quizzes 1 and 2 will only be available to you for the first 2 weeks of the course. You have to be finished with both of these by Friday, September 8th. That's the Friday of week 2. Similarly, topic quizzes 3 and 4, you must be finished with those by the end of Friday, the 15th, and so forth. So there are 10 topic quizzes in all. Each one is worth 10 points, and each one you need to achieve 9 points or better in order to receive an A on those quizzes. The questions are generated randomly from a pool of questions. So if you take the first topic quiz and don't do well enough, the next time you take the first topic quiz, you'll be asked questions on the same topic, but it will almost certainly be different questions. Okay, so you definitely will not get exactly the same questions each time you take a given topic quiz. These quizzes are closed book, closed notes, no access to the web, etc. And you will need to use Lockdown Browser and Respondus Monitor to take these quizzes, just like on the Programming Prep final exam. Actually, on the final exam, we didn't use Respondus Monitor because we were all in classrooms with proctors. For the quizzes, you're allowed to be anywhere that's convenient for you, but you do have to have Respondus Monitor running. You do have to have a working camera on your laptop so that we can confirm that you are by yourself in a quiet place without accessing notes, etc., while you take the quiz. You may believe, and it could be true, that a given question on a given quiz doesn't make any sense, or is ambiguous, or has no correct answer, or what have you. Just continue on, answer that question as best you can, and make a note to yourself of what you think the problem is with that quiz question. Email that comment about that quiz question to me when you're done taking the quiz. If I agree with you that that quiz question was not a good question, then I will give you credit for that question, and I will also give everybody else who's been asked that question credit for that particular question, and I will repair the question for anybody who takes the quiz and receives that question in the future. All right, there will be a final exam on Friday, October 13 from 10 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon. You will actually be given 2 3/4 hours on Canvas to complete the exam during this 3-hour period of time. And that's that. Okay, these other things, I think I will rely upon you to read these things for yourselves. And as I say, if you do have any questions about anything, don't hesitate to send me an email message, and I will respond to you as quickly as I can. All right, so I look forward to seeing you starting this coming Tuesday, which is August 29th, I believe. All right, I'll see you then. Take care.